This is day 1563 of the Arukh HaShulchan Yomi. This week's Arukh HaShulchan Yomi is sponsored by Rabbi Yonasan Ezra ben Chana Feigl for his chus for Atzlach in his new sales job. He should be Zocher to tremendous Siyata Dishmaya. Choshe Ifnei Yatzliach. Today we are doing, you're there, Siman Shin Tes, Sifud Aleph to Yud Ches. Yeah, Mazel Shana Tur. It's because of Rabbeinu Yonah. Even it's like a mum today. There are no experts in Nishlev. Chulei Elam, but mumin mufakim. You have to have obvious movement. Chulei Avadukin Shbein, but flaws in the eye. Shabachulei, etc. Low. Utsumas Ozen damages the ear. Chulei Ben Nishnifka. Chulei Oshinistak Sedekanikar. Even if it has a clear cut crack. I'm sorry. If it has clear cut crack, even though it's not missing anything. If the ear as a whole the size of a karshina, we mean kli, which is a kind of awl with which you drill holes. Or it's dry so it can be cracked with a fingernail. I can't show them. But Rambam says the Yavish Lavi Mum. Rambam says dry is not a mum. Plukli Reish Berek Vod. Choriska Marav. The Bartanura. Actually, that's quoting the Bartanura. You know. Pasika Rambam Paskas Rambam Tam. But Torah Pi Asuri. The Chulin Torah holds like Asuri Chulin. And jump. Ben It's not compelling. Pashu B'chol. Kol Shabaozen Udavka Baschus. Anything that we hear we're talking about the cartilage, Lo Barach, not in the soft part of the ear. Okay, Lamaisa in this Mocham Mumzeh, so you can't rely on a dry ear. Base. Ozen Akdiv, you have the ear of a goat, Sheik Fula, which is doubled over, looks like two. Emmanuel Etzim Machav only has one bone, She'enuel Tnuch Echad only has one cartilage, and Nechbal Tnuch Elyon, but Tnuch is a lobe. It only has one, the lobe, except that it's doubled, and it's connected to the bottom, and it looks like two, having mum, it's a mum. It's not one bone, but the lobes are differentiated at the bottom. Mum, I have no idea what that looks like. You have to know what a goat looks like, and I don't know what a goat looks like, even with a proper ear. Zel Perish Rashi, Rambam Perikvan Bias Mikdash will have according to Rambam, it's the opposite. The Shnei Tuchim have a mum, two lobes is a mum, Echad lo mum, it's one lobe, it's not a mum. And Shom, because they pluk the Avad, so Rav is since the Machlokes of the great ones, but the mum said this mum is null and void. Vein Lat your love the Victoria can rely. It's based because it's suffix deraisa. If it's suffix b'chor tzarchim immediately smocha mum said even if it's a suffix b'chor, you can't rely on the suffix mum. Okay, so the Torah also writes Ozno Achaz Glum Shechaberta, one ear is larger than the other ear. At Shenikah my sign that you can tell by looking at Shikadoyla Mechaberta. Having mum it's a mum, Avalim Eno Nikah, it's not recognized why Chim do us every day unless they measure it. Loving mum, it's a mum. Ram Cholagamaseh. I'm going to on this, Berg basically serving as well. See that feel Achaz Glil Harbe, he wants much larger. Achaz Ktana, one is smaller, like a full to the size of a bean. Shalom is bad, Koshim Sarah, with a mum, please, like a mum Zabato. Out with another mum, which goes avnu. You get a Moshe Be'eno Ogel Shalom if its eye, the place where its eye is sitting is around like a human being's eye frame, eye socket. It's eye socket. So he brings out mum. It's a mum Shedercha Be'emlios Mashul because animals have drawn sockets. Dafka Lovan Shabayin. It's like the white of the eye. Avashal darker lios agol, but the black part is supposed to be round. One is large like a calf, but the second one is like a goose. Having mum, it's a mum. I wonder how often this actually happens. I'm saying those are both large, oktanos are both small, and a mum, it's a mum. Shamim ayin, other mums, mum the eyes, ain't like your lamb, out with them. The A's, she'ain lo karnaim, ain't no mum. A goat which doesn't have horns, it's not a mum. What the other saying in the ram. They had horns which are cut off. With the flesh inside, they were nekru b'koach. They were uprooted with strength. Achishim come king guma. So there's a hole, I guess, an indentation of some sort. Having mum. Nekru b'shav, they're just cut off. Lashon come guma. There's no indentation. Ain't a mum. It's not a mum. Yudal, peep the chazir. If its mouth is like a pig, she's first that the upper lip protrudes over the lower lip, or or vice versa. And the protrusion is obvious to everybody. Even if it's not sharp like a pig's nose, only if there's a protrusion of bone. Just flesh, if its mouth is narrow in its width, you can't open it. It's because of a bone. Meaning that the lips can open properly. But the bones of the lips cling to each other. It's a mum. I mean, that's what I'm talking about. If the lips don't open, just only to the extent of the cheeks. Even though both are limited in where they open. That's because it's proportional. Okay, the simon is that on account of the cheeks, when it eats, it expands its lips and it looks like a bone. The bone actually appears like a pitcher. That's a move. There's another his mouth is bloated on account of wind. Ain't no mum. It's not a mum. That's because of the bone. There is a mum. It is a mum. It's a Rambam. I don't know what it means because of the wind. The mouth is bloated. And this will happen that something will go out and the wind will blow over it and bloat the mouth. Whatever. Don't know. Tesla Nita Rov Lashona, most of the tongue is missing. Nechtach or cut, it's cut off. It's moved lab Rov Shkashachol Lashon, not the majority of the entire tongue. Ella Afilu Rov Meloshin Shana Dovak Milkachaim, even most of the tongue which is not clinging to the cheeks. The part of the tongue which moves. With which a human being speaks. If the bone, the jawbone, or the upper bone, I guess, in which the teeth are embedded, is damaged, have a movement. The Arukh says, I never found such move. It seems that this is how he's interpreting the Mishnah, that the bone of the mouth has was separated. Or is broken. Is separated. It's bone in its mouth, which the teeth are embedded, which is above the strings of the cheeks. Because it's talking about the strings, then even if they've been damaged or are missing, it's also a blemish. From Rashi, it seems clear it's not enough that it's nifkam. This bone, it's got to be severed or broken altogether. Because about to a nifkam, how to write if it's damaged. Even if that's his interpretation, just brought down the also interpretation of Rashi, and therefore it's Sarachir, whether one could rely on this mum as well. Tezayin Yeshlo Shnei Yishlosh Yadayim has 3 hands. Also, there's 1 hand. With the leg, it has 3 legs. It's also a treifa. If it has 1 leg, it's a treifa. But it has 3 legs, so it's a treifa. Even though every time you have more, it's like having less. If one of the hooves of its hands or feet is round like a donkey's, I feel in sukkos even they are split. Or the thigh has dislocated melkum chibur from a place where it's connected. Feel like even if the I think it's tendons. Ligaments. Even ligaments have not rotted away. Treifa nami it's also treifa. Hakesa, one of its One of its thighs is in the place where it's supposed to be on the hip. Bashil Malim and the other. So higher than it. So normally the thigh is connected to the tail next to the slam. I think the English translates its flanks. Below the malim is not above this. Or one thigh is larger than the other one. Or ayad regular, or the bone is broken in the hand or the foot. I feel if it's not missing anything. I feel even it's a small crack. You only can tell if it's broken if it's actually walking. Or if there is a damage to the bone of the hand, or the foot, or the leg, all these things are mum. But anytime it says damage, it's got to be something missing. Parasos yada if the hooves of the hands were narrow, that they're not wide as normal. Normally, if it's because the flesh is narrow, and the bone expands, having mum. It's a mum. And when it expands, it goes outwards. Then he maybe I don't stand says Oshon. How's the bone go out? Rashi Shama and that which his legs are blocked up. Perish Lafach, he says the opposite. Shetzim Kotzor, the bone is short. But Basar Marchiv, and the flesh expands. Yotzei Chusa goes on Ayin Sham. So the Cholios, Ekabisha, Basar Bolei Me'etzim, that the flesh goes beyond the bone. Below Shetzim, a bone below Basar, but not the bone go out without the flesh. V'dai Shino Shatur Kasa Biyada Vudim Raga wrote the hands, also the feet. Basar Shavim, Shishneim Tzorim, if the flesh is equal, they're both narrow, Midar Darkon. I guess the both hands they look the same. If the hooves are removed with the flesh in them, they're cut on top, and the roots remain, have a mum. Even though there's some of the nail part which goes into the nails, I guess, is the karlabasa, which is left near the flesh. He's concerned it's not an obvious mum. Okay, all these things are things which we are not familiar with since we are city slickers. Yutain Ein Lo Beis has no testicles, or Shein Lo Achas, only one testicle. If you have a mum, it's a mum. Affiliation Shnei Kisim, it has two sacks. Each sack is like divided in the middle. Mersik Shnei Kisim. Looks like two sacks. Okay, it means really all this sack is one. It's one sack, but it looks like it's divided. So this one looks like it's divided. If it has only one sack, even though it has two testicles. Because of two of the it has two sacks, and one testicle, you shech immediately. You assume it has one testicle. You don't have to feel around. If it has another one, it has a second one. After you find one testicle connected to clinging to the flanks, it's not in the right place. Because in low mission it says you don't first check it out, and find it afterwards connected to the flanks. So you have to check it out first. Ramban, in other words, it's no good. Ramban Baruch Chokimalav, Ranos argue like Al-Shon, Plukatanoi. It's Machlekes in Beit Hachas, Glem Chabert, and a move one testicle is larger. That's not a move. Yurches, Nun Nechlach has another time if the tail is divided in two. Ada etzem to the bone, by ad toch etzem means into the bone. Have a movement soon. Chem yeshbo basar, and also godo. Chuy has extra flesh like the size of a thumb between vertebrae and vertebrae. Mean each vertebrae is adjacent to the other one. I guess it's supposed to be. If there's a gap between the size of a thumb, have a mum. Says look at the Bartanura. The son of a eagle, the tail of a calf. Shukatsu short doesn't reach the upper joint. Which connects the lower the lower leg to the upper leg. Having movements of I'm sorry, that's the middle joint. It's called the upper joint vis-a-vis the bottom joint. Ram Laman as a moon in the Ram does not explain hold this mum. Does not enumerate this moon fresh commercial Amutana Kefetz Elyon Chule, Hoibusha Fil Chaygav Mamum. Even if it only reaches the Kefetz Elyon, it's not a moon. This moon is gone too. The Zon of Agdi, the tail of a young goat. What's it called? I forget what the word is in English. Is that word? A lamb is a young sheep. What's a young goat? A kid. That's what it is. Okay. Shu ogo k'shel if it's round like that of a pig, have a mum, it's feel avkdaka, even it's a normal thickness. If it's short, she'enu elochi achson is one vertebrae, have vertebra. Have a mum, it's she yeshu shechlios if it has two vertebrae, in a mum, it's not a mum. But ayel in a ram, yeshu shtein mum, it has two, it's a mum. Shalosh mum, three is not a mum. Yabel's in a wart, vayne chatichon no sepes. In excess flesh. It has a bone, b'chomakom, shetir, wherever it is, ben ba'ayin, whether it's in the eye, ben b'sharguf, and the rest of the body have a mum. Ben ba'etzem doesn't have a bone, b'choguf, and a mum. If it's the rest of the body, it's not a mum. Akan l'shonatur. Merchai ben shachalov, and the Gemara distinguishes between black and white. Rashi, in the black and white of the eye. Rashi b'shachal gam below se'ar, if it's a black of the eye, with the out hair, have a mum. Chem vor b'ram sham. Aval tais spiritual hefech. It's the opposite. Beloved have a moon below the seir. In the wise of the eye, it's a moon without hair. Talking about Farshim, the Lama Loy is going to say, why is the Torah mention this? And he was like, Pashu, the Kamish Mechulakim is there. So sorry about this. Mele Tzarech, Mele Alch Tzarech Seir B'Shteim. So I need hair in both of them. Chem Kavanish Shmid says, we left this out. Messiah Matur, the Kol Elohim, Moon, V'Hakim, Suach Gam Bizman Hazeh. All the things that were enumerated, which except, well, obviously, Arukh HaShulchan says, the Rambam disagrees with, are moving also in our day and age.